So the other day, this guy came to our house, and he is from, I think it's called like Rainbow Water Mitigation, and they stopped to take some samples at our place because we have an attic AC unit that was leaking water down in our ceilings and walls, and so now we got mold and asbestos and a big mess, and it's not a lot of fun, but we're surviving. Anyways, so this guy came to visit the second time, and he said, "Okay, so me and my wife have wonder what you do for a living." And I was like, "Oh," kind of intrigued. I was like, "Okay." And I think his wife said she thought I was a music teacher, and he said he thought I was a youth pastor. And I don't know, it's really interesting because I grew up in the church. I, had a lot of youth pastors. They were actually pretty great for the most part. Um, but I remember one time I was in college and I was doing this. I was chaperoning for a choir tour, and so they were staying at this camp doing rehearsals, and it was a high school kids in choir, and I remember trying to learn each one of their names. So just I knew who was there. I knew could attach faces to names and that sort of thing. And anyways, I was doing that, and there was another chaperone who was there, and she asked me like, "Oh, are you going into ministry?" And my first response was almost like, "God, no!" Like I it's not the sort of thing that I saw myself doing. And so it's kind of funny how like I've got this almost like visceral immediate response when people ask about that. But anyways, it was really funny reflecting on that. But I do music. I'm an intuitive songwriter, and I do custom collaborative songwriting with people, so that's not too far off. That youth pastor piece, I mean, I've done some stuff at my church when it comes to music, and worked with people. And as far as like that music teacher piece, I actually this summer got the chance to teach songwriting to 4 different groups that were attending a creative writing camp at NDSU. Thanks to my friend Jamie Larson, who's amazing. And I really, really enjoyed being able to talk to them about songwriting. And so, yeah, sure, music teacher's not too far off. Youth pastor's not too far off. But but it's also really interesting realizing how I'm letting go of this visceral response to someone thinking that I'm in ministry. That said, it's really interesting also that sometimes when I see people post online something about God or about their faith or about Jesus, um, my first reaction is almost always just kind of like, ugh, just it. It's weird how I think my immediate reaction has to do with assuming that because they're professing their faith out loud, they're subscribing to a certain kind of faith that is very prevalent in America, like American evangelical Christianity. And I think that's something that has really impacted my own upbringing. And as I learn more about, the history of Christianity, I realize like there are just so many things that we've gotten wrong. And I think the religion that a lot of us are a part of isn't a great reflection of Jesus at work in the world. And I want to be a reflection of that. But that doesn't mean I want to talk about it all the time. Maybe I should? I don't know. What do you think?